Hey guys, and welcome back again to me, Ben, playing Cities Skylines 2 in Fairbanks County. So this episode, first of all, before I'm starting with that, I just want to give you a quick feedback regarding Cities Skylines 2. I'm kind of disappointed, but on the other hand, I'm not. By this game, I think it's still a great thing, but I also assume that it will take at least another half a year for the developers to be at a stage where I would say now the game is ready to be sold to the public. So I'm currently feeling like a beta tester, and I'm still experiencing a lot of issues along the way with the game overall. Like I'm having challenges with my graphic settings. I'm having challenges with performance. I even doubt that the industrial, commercial, and whatnot, the trade and everything else is really working correct. I'm also wondering about a couple of other things that I want to tell you about maybe alongside this episode. But for now, I'll be focusing on a couple of things within this episode here. So for example, I'm lacking some train lines leaving the station here. So that's something I want to take care of. Maybe not in this episode, but for sure in one of the next ones. The other thing I want to set up here is a new residential district here that's located in the hills. I will try a couple of techniques also with this train line here moving through the mountainside, because in the end, even if I already have one train line coming down here, I still want to merge these, kind of, at least. So that's something I'm going to take care of. And the other thing, I'm just wondering, like, I need some kind of transition here, and I also want to grow my industrial district over here. And I want to do some pre-planning ahead. And I think the best thing is for me to get started with landscaping first. So I'll be back for you in a couple of seconds or minutes as soon as I'm done, and then I'll explain to you what I'm planning to do with that area here. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for joining me again today here in Fairbanks County. I hope you're still having fun playing this game, because I definitely do. I just learned like a couple of days ago that about 70 to 75% of the whole user base that initially played Cities Skylines 2 is almost gone. So they are no longer playing this game, which is kind of a shame, because I think this game is great. It has flaws, yes, it does, but the game itself is still awesome. And for me, the reason to continue playing this, even if my viewer numbers are dropping significantly over the past couple of days, over the past couple of episodes, I think this all stems from people are no longer that excited about this game, but I don't care. Like, guys, I'm playing this for fun. It's not my profession. I'm playing this because I love these games, and I think both Cities Skylines 1 and Cities Skylines 2 are amazing games as they are, and there's no comparison, nothing that feels the same way or that much like any of these two games. So enough reason for me to continue playing here, enough reason for me to continue recording. And I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me. And if you like my episodes, please consider following me. Please consider leaving me a like here. And if you have any suggestions, anything you want me to do, please go ahead, leave me a comment. I'm more than happy to incorporate that. And now, really, without any further ado, let's get started with the landscaping job, and I'll be back for you as soon as it's done. Thanks a lot. So before I dive deeper into like the layout of my residential area that's going to be here or be sitting on this hillside, I want to quickly explain to you what I did over there. And this is specifically like I flattened the land, and I also made sure that I have enough room for growth, because what I'm planning to do here is setting up a new. So what I'm planning to do here is actually setting up a new harbor area, which might become an essential part of this industry on this island. It won't be a passenger harbor, it's going to be a cargo harbor for sure. And for that reason, I already know that I need a lot, and I really mean a lot of space here, especially land, before I'm actually able to drop in a harbor onto the sea or into the sea here on the coastline. So this is the reason why I went that much further out, even if it's not straight yet. I think it should be fairly okay with what I want to achieve here. So maybe what I'm doing to even beautify this more, and I think that's a technique that everybody should or could use, essentially, because it's so easy to like handle it, especially when you want to build something like such a big structure here. As you can see, like I think even one is already enough, because I get the 90 degrees angle. So I want to lead that road here and the other one there, and I already can see that it's not straight yet. So I need to jump back to the landscaping menu here, pick up the height again, just extend it a bit further out. I don't really care about the actual and true measurements of my harbor yet. It should be something around that what I created here. And what I also want to do is like make sure that I'm ready for any connections, like road connections here in the future. And then I can basically again landscape a couple of things, make this a bit closer here, just to better define the area where this harbor is going to sit in the future. Just decreasing the brush size here, moving that a bit closer. And I think also going to purchase like a couple of tiles now, even if I don't want to put the harbor in yet. It's still too early for my impression. Way too early, way too soon. So now I need to soften this a bit. And then also make sure that I'm not like getting any weird outlines here. Strength could be up. That should basically work out more or less. Don't want to create it too steep. And in the end, like when I'm about to put down the harbor, I think this will come in absolutely handy, because I will have an almost straight line for my harbor front here in place before I'm actually going back and having to do a lot more landscaping afterwards. So this is at least my preferred way to do that, because it makes things easier in the long run. And then I'm also flattening things out a bit, making it a bit more seamless. So here you were already able to see I put down some more industrial zonings, because I definitely need more industrial zones in the near future. Also over there, I think there is also room for growth, to be honest. even if it's just a little, but definitely not residentially here. I'm still surprised that residents would want to live here. Well, I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's really close to the industrial part of town. And in there, yeah, I have to check and see what I'm putting down there. I don't want to use another stone quarry for decoration here, but maybe I can. No, I can't. It's too big. That's fine. Maybe I just leave it like that for now. I also created a little overpath here. I don't really like it that it's so like wobbly here, but that's the way it is right now. I don't have a move it mod in Cities Skylines 2 yet, and this is about to come hopefully. And now I have to take care of that residential area on the hillside. And as I mentioned, I want to create a distinct area for people that want to live in a gated community there. And I think it's a good place as well, because over here there will be the big sky, hopefully the big skyscrapers in the near future at some point in time when we're creating beaches and shorelines and coasts and whatnot. So yeah, let me move ahead and I'll be back for you in a couple of minutes again when I'm done and when we finally let the game run for a bit to see where we are going from there. By the way, I want to add one more thing here. As long as I'm building this out here, what I feel is so amazing in Cities Skylines 2 is that you can finally put down houses underneath bridges. This is way more realistic, guys, what you did there compared to Cities Skylines 1. It makes so much more sense because you can see it in so many countries around the globe, where people are either forced to or want to build their houses below a bridge. And here you go. Finally they can. Finally you can in Cities Skylines 2. I love it. Thanks for that feature. So finally I reached the stage, I would say, where I can let the game run for a bit, because I will have to rebuild or add a lot more zones here as soon as the first buildings and sites pop up. I'm very sorry about my voice, like you can still hear that I'm a bit sick, but that's fine. I'm still capable of playing here. So I'll let it run now for a few seconds and fill the gaps. After all, So having built that, I think I'm pretty happy actually with how it turned out to be. I just want to make sure that I'm also including some kind of school here, because otherwise I might lose out on education here in this district. But on the other hand, like, I will have a lot of room and space here for my citizens to go to school over there. But I was just thinking about some other essential city services, like, for example, mailboxes. I think that's especially essential when you're living on the countryside and you don't, like, you need to stay or want to stay in touch with your relatives or friends. The other thing, I believe, like, over here there could be one or two more mailboxes sitting, and I'm also wondering whether it does make sense to put down a few mailboxes in the industrial area, because I believe that businesses, industries, offices, but also commercial, that they all benefit from having a mailbox sitting right around the corner. I think it just does make sense to have a mailbox sitting there. And also for my university, I think it's important for the students to be able to drop in a letter if needed, conveniently on the way home from their studies. So that looks good from my perspective. I'm wondering about internet services, and that's another topic I need to cover here. Probably I can put something down right there in the space, which is absolutely great, because I don't like these towers, but sometimes you just have to put them down. Doesn't help. And with this one, I should be able to cover essentially my harbor zone, but also, like, and if I'm upgrading that, I believe both upgrades. Can I give them both? Yeah, please. Just take it. Oh, got it. So I gave them both upgrades, and I think, yeah, that's reasonable and enough, I would say. So police is looking well. Fire department looks well. Education, not so well, but it's still okay-ish. Healthcare, is it something we need to take care of? Like, I do have a doctor's office here. I do have a doctor's office there, but none anywhere close this new district. So I want to set down one doctor's office here, and this should help cover up for everything that's happening over there. Regarding death care, I do have this here, and I think I need another crematorium sooner or later to keep my people comfortable. And probably I'll just put down one here. Yep, looks good. Regarding water, okay, I want to do something, and I want to invest some development points now. So let me think. Don't need a gas power plant. I want to have a water treatment plant. Probably also a recycling center sooner or later, but not right now. Healthcare services, so that, okay, I need to have a medical university. That's something I can do later. Fire station, transport. So by looking at all these things, I assume, yeah, sorting facility, I don't need that right now. And I think the most essential one was actually the water treatment plant, because I do want to get rid of this wastewater thing here. It will take such a long time to finally get rid of that. So let's better get started with that right now, even if it's a bit more expensive but I'll just simply go ahead and do it. So again, some terraforming needed. I'm picking up the same height here, just reducing the brush size because obviously I don't need such a huge area where I can put down the water treatment facilities here. Probably I need an even bigger one. Didn't remember that. So I'm curious how I can place that, because I want this to be as close to the water as possible. And I also don't want to build, it still says it's in water. Okay, I need an even bigger land thing here. Almost forgot what I actually wanted to build. I can't put it in here. No, I think it's still too small. Just a tack too small. Okay, this should do it, I believe. Yeah, that's fine. So it's connected. And what I want to do is, and this is where I'm getting to a point where I actually have to buy a few more tiles, like this one here. Also want to get that one and that one just to be prepared for my future harbor plans. I'm extending. First I'm doing the landscaping thing again. And then I'm obviously smoothing things out here just a bit so that it looks as if it has ever been there and was just waiting for the building to be built. Perfect. So that's done. But then I also can finally remove this here. And you will see, like right now it's winter. It says it's August 2023. And this will take quite a bit of time. So that dirt water, wastewater, will take a long time until it's gone, to be honest. And this here is just a small step forward for now. But as long as it's taking on the wastewater management for the city, it's all good. 63% usage, pollution 0%, 12% purification rate, 50. Yeah, I think that's perfect. That's fine. Here the harbor will sit later on. And for now, I have a look at my stats here. So I'm opening the info views, especially the available jobs here. I do have 250 workplaces more than I actually have employees. And so I don't have the tech, but I can't build the medical university yet. So this is something that has to wait because I need to make some more money. 5,000 in the negatives right now, which is not very, very good. So I'm just trying to think of where I should build next. And I would say that this strip here, perfect starting point for the beach front row. Little houses, not too big. Have them sit somewhere nearby. And I want to create a very beachy area, or at least with beachy vibe over time here, which is the reason why I'm leaving some gaps here and there. And also, yeah, so that should be gone. This should be gone as well. Sorry guys, you have to rebuild at some point in time. There we need a bigger entrance, I believe. And then we can start building some medium density housing here. Probably like this here. And I also let the game run right away. So over there, like over here, I'll be building a low residential zone. And yeah, after I've done some landscaping, as you can see, it's very, very slopey, very hilly here. I'll be back for you and make sure that I'll explain to you what I did and why I did it. I also just rearranged the train line here because I want to make sure that at some point in time, I think I want to have probably another passenger station over there or somewhere else. I don't know yet, but we'll see. So I'll be back for you in a bit. Now it's about time to let the game run again for a bit, just to see how the current structures develop here over time. And I also want to put down, some commercial spaces here. And I also will need some office space over there, I believe. And maybe even a parking lot next to the school, just for parents to be able to drop off their kids, which seems to be more and more common recently. So why not recognize that, and why not just put it down wherever it goes? Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect from a landscaping perspective, so I'll redo that. Locate something. Oh, why not have a parking lot right there? And I need to do some landscaping here first. Again, it's always important, like don't forget, like if you have to build certain structures, it absolutely makes sense to do the landscaping job first. And as you can see, like I have to rebuild Woodland Lane because yeah, it looked very, very ugly, to be frank. So I want to take that into consideration before I'm actually rebuilding this parking lot up here. So that makes sense. Now I can bring this other parking lot from here. I can relocate it to that area here, which makes completely sense. And then I also want to do some landscaping again over there, just to have a better area available for the parking lot. I think I could even go for a bigger one. Would somebody be willing walking down the street to go to the beach? I think so. 100%. If it's a nice clean beach, absolutely. People would go. So I am even considering putting down bigger parking lot like this here. Again, landscaping. I think I could just move it by a tile or two, probably by two. Then it fits way more into the area. But then I also have, or at least I don't have to, but I want to do some decorations. I want to see, wasn't there, like I never can remember the size of the parks here. Okay, the playground is small enough. And then we'll obviously have some pathways running through here. And also put down some trees and bushes. But no pines. I want to have a few hickory trees here. Really small brush, increased strength. Some hickories, maybe one. Nah, it doesn't fit in. Very sad. But some bushes might fit in here. And also some of these probably. And maybe also some of these. Yeah, they are way smaller. So that should make up some decoration here. That's going to be nice. So this is growing here already, which is awesome because then I can start putting in other houses here and there in the right next to the houses that have already been built. So that's fair. Or should, again, another mistake. No, there's an ambulance missing and there's a hearse missing, so I want to check that. Making 1,000, so that's fine. I should be okay. So there are my crematoriums. That's something that I can probably wait. But for my residents, I need a clinic sooner or later. At least at some point in time. I want to have some here. So there's a clinic now. And how much would it be to put down another hearse here? Another crematorium. I've literally no idea. And I'm also connecting up, and this has nothing to do with that. Connecting up these roads for now. And also on the other end, I just want to connect them up. little beach cottages, hopefully. So I'm just wondering about one thing. Like what I did right now is I added in a new train station, passenger train station here, and I'm about to create a passenger railway station, train line from here to over there and back again between these two stations here. Don't want to add in a new waypoint, for sure not complete route. So this should essentially work, and I'm just wondering why it did not take this route, but that could be only because those lines are not connected. So I will have to connect these up as well, I feel, which will be kind of a challenge. Yeah, but that should work, even though it looks pretty ugly, to be honest. Well, that's the way things are, especially when you want to try out things, but maybe it's even shorter to go from here to there. Well, at least we do have one train line up and running, which is always nice to see. And now, what is the problem? Why am I not making enough revenue? So I'm checking total workplaces. I'm still 250 behind somehow. For some reason. So taxes. I need to lower my taxes for my residents. I think I should do that. Taxation down to 10. That could help me with building a lot more, getting a lot more people moving in. And it's only about high noise pollution. So again, checking here in the stats. But there are enough jobs in here. So maybe I need more office zones. But also some commercial zones, obviously. And probably more industrial zones as well. But where am I adding more of these in? So I'm just looking at that area. Maybe alongside King Street here. Let's check and see. Can add in a few more industrial buildings along the way, but not too many of these. Then probably again some commercial areas here, some offices there, so another commercial area maybe here, and then probably I'm gonna have, what about some low rent housing options here? That's closing up quickly, I feel. It's always nice to see a city grow, so I absolutely love watching that, even if you can see definitely that I'm either having a CPU or a GPU problem here, definitely with my graphics settings. It's taking such a long time, and I'm just now recording just 1 hour of gameplay, so it's kind of ridiculous that this game is already struggling only after an hour of gameplay. So that train seems to be up and running, which is something I absolutely love to see. Coming back all the way down here. Just having a look at the train line. Like 8 passengers is nothing for now. Just deactivating the transport line because right now I don't need it, I feel. And I also have to work with my district settings now, because I feel that I'm lacking a couple of definitions here. So after defining 2 more districts, I'm adding my policies to them. Heavy traffic ban, yeah, I want to have this roadside parking fee for sure. So that makes sense. And I also want to add the same thing except for the heavy traffic ban. So that's nice, but I do not want this to be a gated community, obviously, because it's a beach. It should be available to everyone. And the last final thing I wanted to check in this episode is whether it's about time to build like 30,000 megawatts I'm currently consuming. That might cost me quite a bit, to be honest. So what am I paying? Subsidies? None. No longer getting any. I'm still getting some government subsidies, which is nice. For electricity, I'm currently paying 140 see. So I almost expected that. I feared that. So geothermal power plant. I need to have water somewhere in a suitable place. And actually up here, where I built Bridgewater Bourne. Okay, it is what it is. So probably I'm purchasing that here. Yeah, most likely I'll do that. I'll purchase some tiles here. So these 4 would be great to have. And in addition to that, I think I want to buy a few more, because then I can close my train line and bring it up here to the main line, which would be very, very nice indeed. So I'm purchasing that. Now I have to find out where my water sits. So geothermal power plant, I have to invest in the emergency battery station, which is fine. And also need geothermal power plant thing. And this will sit right there, because that costs me way less. Nah, not way less, but I can export a lot of energy. I could export a lot of energy here. Either have the road sit over there. 150. That's still good. So off we go. Building that out. I need a connection to this here. I also need a road up here. And then probably a bigger road right there. And I'm wondering whether I can pull that off and make the ugliest connection to a highway that I ever made. Ever. In Cities Skylines 1 or 2. So, wondering about this. What's happening to my electricity? So I'm exporting and I'm moving forward. A lot of energy. Do you need water? Do you need wastewater management? Probably you do. So let me just check on that. Just make sure that connecting up. Probably it is. So let the game run. So now I'm waiting to see what happens. Maybe I also want to include a roundabout here and there. No, come on, let's leave it like that. It's ugly like hell. But I don't care right now. So how is my electricity standing up here? Finally in the plus. Export maintenance. So I'm making a bit of plus here. So currently I'm just waiting to gain more employees and get more employees to the power plant here. Hopefully that works, because otherwise, like with the efficiency being that low, 57%, I won't make a lot of revenue on that. Currently I'm losing. So I'm just building something fairly quick here. So on purpose, I'm putting down here some houses without any benefits at all. Just want to make sure that we have some fire coverage, some police sitting over there, and that should be it. So So I'm letting the game run now full speed in the hopes that I'm not losing too much money along the way, because that's a bit concerning, to be honest. So I'll just let the game run for a bit and I'll be back for you in a few seconds. So finally, I think this is a good position to stop. Nah, not yet. I'm making some revenue here. I don't know where this is coming from, like exporting. No, export is just very little right now. Just wondering where this is coming from. 16 of 22 employees, which is really bad. I need to put down another school, I believe. Oh, and I reached Big Town. Now it gets difficult. So before I'm ending this episode, let's have a quick check on the milestones here of Big Town, the eighth milestone here. So the loan limit was increased, and now finally we're getting EU and North American high density housing, which is very important for us when we want to grow big. And yeah, for that, I think it's time to close things actually, because otherwise it's becoming a bit difficult here to take care of all these needs in the district here. I think it's still somewhat of a challenge. I need a bus line here. I need a couple of things over there. So I wasn't really thinking before I actually put this down, because having only 16, I need well-educated people and educated people. That's fine, 17. And the well-educated, I don't know whether they want to travel really that far to just get here. Maybe not. Yeah, but let's wait and see. So I'll leave it for now. At least I'm here and there making some revenue, which is perfect. And I could now essentially build finally a medical university, which would help me get more doctors or better service. Oh, that's huge. Another huge building here. That I don't want to put that down yet. So I'm leaving it for now. I quickly want to thank you for joining me again today in this episode of me playing in Fairbanks County. As you can see, I took care of a lot of things. I built that strip here. It was the first start of Fairview Croft, the water line here, and I don't want to build everything along this here. So there will be some empty places, hopefully here and there in between. And yeah, I took care of my train lines here. At some point in time, I want to lead them up here and connect them to the edges of the map, which are, by the way, really far away from my perspective. So there's a lot of room for growth, at least for now. And yeah, let me thank you again. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. And thanks for following me. I wish you a wonderful day. Have a good one, and see you hopefully in the next episode. Have a good day. Bye bye.